Alrighty, folks, the third and final video to wrap up this surprise, spur-of-the-moment marathon evening with 3 videos in 3 hours. I hope you appreciate it. If you do, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Honestly, I'm just so relieved that our big move is done and that I'm in my new office. I know the audio is a little wacky. It will be perfect by the end of the weekend, do not worry. But yeah, I wanted to celebrate with a bunch of surprise videos. So here is the third and final one. If you didn't catch the other 2, here are the thumbnails. Let's get into it. And to really spice it up, we're doing a Should You Summon for the unbelievable Ne Zha and the phenomenal Numera. To spice it up, I'm only gonna give myself 10 minutes. So let's turn on my stopwatch thing over here and let's frickin' roll. All right, 3 seconds. Let's go. 9 minutes and 55 seconds to go at this point. Let's go.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Should you summon for Numera and Ne Zha? For sure. Like, for sure. I guess towards the end of the video, I'll talk about who maybe can skip. It's basically nobody, unless you're extremely conservative with your saving. I think this is about as good of a banner as we have had in as long as I can remember when it comes to normal banners. Maybe since the first time they ran Numera. I just put out a video about Ne Zha and how insanely powerful he is. Definitely watch that. The damage he can put out as a melee unit dealing AoE is mind-numbing. He just melts everyone's HP with all his different mechanisms to deal damage. And then the final key thing, which I wish I keyed in on a little bit more acutely in my video, is going to be over here when he triggers his arms race. So if you look at this passive, Unlimited Arsenal, when he's switching between his different weapons, and he has 3 different weapons, he has, when he's not ulting, the Fire Tip Spear and the Universe Ring. This one is kind of straight single target damage, and this one's kind of multi-target damage, though they both have the opportunity for extra things. This has extra hits, and this can bounce. But, you know, it's not fully formed AoE or anything like that. However, when he ults, he also 35% of the time can deal the Yin Yang Blade damage, or use that weapon, I should say, and it's really phenomenal. All those things, you're just going to see damage going crazy. Seriously, watch the showcase. I cannot overstate the power of this guy. But then, as he switches between all those weapons, whenever he's weapon switching, he has all these ways to boost himself. He gets boosts from his talent, he gets boosts when he's weapon switching with his exclusive artifact, and then also he can trigger this. So this passive, when he's switching between different weapons to attack, he's going to increase the damage multiplier of that basic attack by 50%, and all the damage he does is considered basic attacks, and then he can trigger arms enhancement, and this thing is so good. So his Fire Tip Spear will now ignore 50% of the enemy's defense. The Universe Ring can now bounce an extra time. Instead of 2 bounces, it can bounce 3 times, and it can hit the same target. So it's either more single target or more multi-target. But the most important thing, his proper AoE, the Yin Yang Blade, now has an execute function. So any non-elite or boss monsters will just disappear if their HP is below 30%. I do think people are slightly overstating how strong this is alone. It is insanely strong. He's so OP. But the reason this is triggering so much is because he is melting off that first 70% so quickly, like it's nothing. We've really never seen an AoE like this guy. He is capable of so much. He's a melee unit with physical damage. A lot of the best melee unit AoE units are magic damage. He has physical damage, and all of his damage can hit airborne targets. That is really, really, really wacky. Look at this. Everything he does, like I said, is a basic attack, and that final line on his basic, all attacks can target airborne units. I haven't even tested him out in all these airborne anti-air challenges yet. There's so much I want to try. He is stupid strong. Watch the showcase. This is like a must-have unit. I've had people DM me, comment, post on my Discord server, the Fastidious, link in the description, say things along the lines of, oh, I have Sun Wukong and Kagiri and this. Do I still need him? This is a different character. I don't care if you have Valeria and Sun Wukong. I don't know why I said Valeria. She's really good, but, you know, I don't care if you have Sun Wukong and Ardia and A3 Kagiri, A5 Kagiri and Magda. It doesn't matter. This is a brand new thing. In AoE with this level of potency as a melee unit with physical damage that is melting everything and then can hit airborne targets. He's checking so many freaking boxes. We don't have a character like this. Like, yes, Valara is god tier. This is a different kind of god tier. Like, you're still going to want both, right? Valara's effectively a fighter, but what he's capable of is insanity. It really, really is. And for certain content, if you can pick up Erlong Shen, we're going to have 2 videos on him tomorrow, you can make crazy use of this. He'll never get debuffed, and then when he's ulting. And then when he's ulting, he's also going to heal himself. So he can like solo so many things with his ult if you time it out properly, which of course you will. You're an amazing player. In things like Malric's Hall's of Illusion, right? The Black Sewer. He's so good already, and there's so much potential I don't even know yet because I haven't been able to test him in every piece of content. But from what I have tested already, his power is undeniable. Must pull unit, in my opinion. The thing to get into, though, is how much to pull. Right? I guess let's talk about Numera very quickly, and then we'll talk about how to approach this banner, because this is not a limited banner. To our surprise, this is not a limited banner. My guess, by the way, I have 5 minutes and 15 seconds down, so less than 5 minutes to go, 4 minutes and 42 seconds, something like that. Now, I do want to take a moment to say, a lot of us thought this was going to be a limited banner. I certainly did. I kind of had to eat my shoe on that one. I think a lot of other people did too. All the signs pointed towards this, and then at the last second, it turns out he wasn't. They said it was a special summoning. They made a whole event around him, which they have never done before. People said like the Scalekin event with the Lizardmen, that wasn't a full event. That's a baby event. Maybe I should have made that distinction. I mean an event with bosses, specific content and stages, not just a redeem shop. You know, there's a whole event behind him. It was pointing towards limited. I think they might have thought he was too strong. They didn't want to change the kit, but they might have thought he was too strong to be a limited. I think that might have been what happened. But because he's not a limited, he's on an amazing banner with Numera, but neither is guaranteed. How do you approach it? We're going to wrap up with that thought, but let's talk about Numera for 2 seconds. She is the best star unit in the poison comp. She succeeds immensely outside of the poison comp because she has tons of damage. She puts out poison herself. She explodes poison herself. She's the only unit in the game who can do that with her toxic surge ability. And she also has a lot of true damage and crowd control. She has damage reduction. There's just so much she is able to do. But especially within that poison comp, she is the queen of it. Yes, you want Nasty as a lord. Yes, you'd love a Vorn. Yes, you can make certain things work with Vixera. But the main thing with Numera is that she's the exploder. She's the one doing all the true damage. She's the one bringing the whole thing together and taking it to another level. I don't really think I need to wax poetic on how good she is. I think everyone knows. I basically just want to show you the leaderboards in Guild Boss 1, and I want to show you her awakenings. So if you can get this A1, the second part doesn't really matter. Grimthorn Spike and Toxic Surge guaranteeing crits. If you're very early on in the game, your first month, maybe 2 months, I guess the guaranteed crits can be relevant. But even if you're that early on, you're going to want to have your best characters crit capped. And unless if you have every unit in the game, Numera is going to be your first, second, third best unit on your account. Maybe very likely the best if you have her early on. So she's going to be crit capped. That doesn't matter, but this does. During the ultimate, damage increased by 25%. That is when she gets the Toxic Surge going. That's when she gets big bursts of damage. It's a brief period, but it's a ton of damage, so you will feel that difference. I do have an A1 Numera, and I feel that. But the craziest thing is the A3. Just straight out, she's ignoring 20% of magic resistance. That's the magic defense all the time. And every time she's casting Nature's Wrath, she's increasing this by 5% up to an extra 25%. So for any battle that's not that long, when she's casted her ult 5 times, she's casted that ultimate 5 times, she's ignoring 45% of their magic defense. She is nuts. Let's take literally 10 seconds because I have less than 2 minutes left to look at the leaderboards. Oh my God, the pop-ups are coming at the worst time ever. Oh, I'm not in a guild on this account. Okay, we have to cut. All right, we're cutting at 8 minutes, 15 seconds. Okay, I just quick joined. I'm in Celestial Watchers, whatever that is. Maybe this is a CLS guild. I don't know. So let's go into the battle and let's look at the leaderboards. We can actually show you this now. And if I just find any Numera, why is it showing the lowest freaking level? Let's go to Abyss. You can just see the builds people get on her. She's A5. She's a key cog to all of this stuff. 144 million, more than Wukong, who I'm sure is also A5. Here's an A0 Numera, putting up 110 million. Unbelievable stuff. We can scroll further down the leaderboards just so you can see she's absolutely everywhere. I know I'm keying in on one piece of content, but she's just a superstar left, right, and center. Best single target magic melee DPS in the game for bosses. So there you have it. The banner's amazing. How do you approach it? I have 1 minute left. Basically, what I would do, if anyone has enough summons, pull until your second legendary. You have an 89% chance to hit one of the 2 banner rate ups through the new progressive system within your first 2 legendaries pulled. That isn't to say everyone's going to get that, because 11% of you will miss. I will say, if you can go for 3 legendaries, it's over 99%. It's only like 6 every 1,000 players won't hit within their first 3 legendaries summoned. So I would really go all in for that. That's what I'm going to do. If I get really lucky, I'm going to have a lot of summons for this banner. I will keep going, but I think most people should approach it that way. If you can't guarantee you'll hit 2 legendaries, you can still gamble. It's a good banner to gamble on, but we do not have current information about the next limiteds. The final thing to talk about as we wrap up these last 10 minutes, I'm never doing this again. I feel so freaking rushed. The final thing to discuss is going to be how the progressive works. I think some people still don't get it. The second you hit one of these 2, it's not staying at 200 or 2000x. It goes back down to 20x and it stays there forever. It only works the progressive rate up for the first banner legendary pulled, and you don't know who it's going to be. The good thing about this banner is we've got 2 superstars, and one is brand new and one needs awakenings, or at least benefits immensely from awakenings, so it's the optimal banner to go all in on. But that being said, you never know. So how'd I do? 10 minutes and 29 seconds. Not my best, certainly not my worst. Should you summon? Almost all of you, hell frickin' yes. I think some people are going to overthink this and make the mistake to be like, oh, I'll wait for the next limited. By the time the next limited comes, you can save up 200 summons. Dude, do this. Do this. It is unbelievable. Thank you for watching. This banner's crazy. We're doing a huge polls party tomorrow, and I really hope you participate. The link will be in the description and the top pinned comment. It's going to start about 12 hours after this video comes out, something like that. Thank you. I've been Fastidious. Share with your mother. Thank you to R-Type for editing this video, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.